The Democrat mayor of Oakland, California, recently shocked the nation when she warned illegal immigrants that ICE was planning to raid the city. Too bad for the arrogant liberal, she got some bad news just 3 days later, and it was downright brutal. America is a land of law and order. We have rules to keep the citizens in our country safe. However, liberals have taken it upon themselves to pick and choose which laws they're going to follow and which they will ignore, especially when it pertains to illegal immigrants. Despite the fact that entering this country without permission is a federal crime, Democrats have begun to shelter these criminals, no matter the cost. Even worse yet, Americans, like Kate Steinle, have actually died as a result of this reality, and law enforcement agencies are unable to neutralize the threat as their hands are tied by liberal politicians. What the left is doing to this country right now is absolutely disturbing. Elected officials are putting American lives in danger in order to give preferential treatment to foreign nationals. Unfortunately, it seems that they're more than comfortable with the bloodshed that their policies are ultimately responsible for, if it means they might be able to increase their voter base, padding it with those who entered our country illegally. In fact, they're so comfortable with it that they're seeking to help the criminals living in their communities now more than ever. Proving that most recently was Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, who decided to warn illegal immigrants that ICE was planning raids all across the city on Saturday, as Mad World News previously reported. Even worse yet, the arrogant Democrat even sought to justify her borderline illegal actions. Ironically, when the raids didn't happen over the weekend, Schaaf faced a backlash from her own supporters for crying wolf and creating unnecessary chaos in her city. But things were only going to get worse for Schaaf. Too bad for her, she got some seriously bad news just 3 days after her warning, and it was absolutely brutal. According to Fox News, ICE conducted their raids on Tuesday after everyone thought Schaaf's warning was a false alarm, and ICE managed to arrest a whopping 150 illegal immigrants in an operation called Keep Safe. Although officials have yet to admit it, many believe that the first letters of the operation's name, Kansas, were intended as a reference to Kate Steinle. This wasn't the only bad news that the Oakland mayor got either. In fact, things only got worse for Schaaf when ICE finally had a chance to slam the mayor for her little stunt, which put lives at risk. Sanctuary jurisdictions like San Francisco and Oakland shield dangerous criminal aliens from federal law enforcement at the expense of public safety, said Thomas Homan, the acting director of ICE. Because these jurisdictions prevent ICE from arresting criminal aliens in the secure confines of a jail, they also force ICE officers to make more arrests out in the community, which poses increased risks for law enforcement and the public. ICE officials are ready to do something about Mayor Schaaf and her reckless, irresponsible decision that endangered our law enforcement officers. Although Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf apparently thinks she's safe from prosecution, she may not want to hold her breath. As it turns out, ICE officials have asked the Department of Justice to investigate whether Schaaf broke any laws so that they can charge her for it if she did. As for Schaaf's plan to disrupt ICE operations, she may have been successful at sparing a few illegal immigrants from being arrested this time, but 150 in total were still arrested, and that's a nice dent in the number of criminals who are walking around the city freely. You can bet your butt that this wasn't the last time ICE is going to raid the area, but it might be the last time they do so with Schaaf as mayor, seeing how she could be the next person taken away in cuffs.